Get this, adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/Wondery. Greenlight.com/Wondery. Looking for your best sleep ever? Sleep Number smart beds are literally made for you. They adapt to your changing needs. So whether you're dealing with sore muscles or running hot at night, your bed automatically adjusts for optimal comfort. Want softer, firmer, cooler, warmer? With personalized firmness settings and temperature control that cools up to 20 times faster than leading competitors, you'll get the perfect sleep environment every night. Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? So you can choose your ideal comfort on either side. And now it's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event, up to 50% off, limited time, exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. See store or sleepnumber.com for details.
I think Johnny a teammate? No, Rook's older than Johnny.
Yeah.
Rook's older than
Andy and Johnny are teammates.
Great guy.
All right, Pat.
You know what I'm lacking this week, Joe?
What?
Spunk. I haven't had spunk this week. I'm not.
The holidays bring you down.
I hate spunk.
I get up in the morning early.
I got my
okay.
headline for today's episode.
I'm okay, and then about 10:30, I got to lay down for another hour. I don't have any.
Out of spunk.
I'm out of spunk in the energy sense. So I'm out of spunk. I got to get my spunk back.
You know who had spunk?
New Year.
My two kids. And I said to her on Monday, these kids need to go back to school.
Well, I'm sure trying to get to a topic.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry,
give us the topic.
I know
Let's
it was
go.
Saturday night.
Hopefully it'll fire me up. Yeah.
Well, what are we to do about the behavior of the officials in the Detroit-Dallas NFL game Saturday night?
Well, Adam Schefter, who's the big ESPN expert on this, came out with his hot exclusive on Sunday during the day that the NFL was going to kind of, without announcing it, punish these guys. They gave him a primetime game for Saturday.
They're in
They
Pittsburgh or
gave
something, aren't they?
Pittsburgh and
The same
Baltimore
crew?
for Saturday, the same crew. They've had disastrous, but they get this John Perry on Sports Center, and he's trying to say, well, he never put his eyes on 68, the officials. He looked right at him for a minute, and the guy's going, I'm checking in here.
Yep.
I don't know. He screwed it up. And then they say, well, why didn't he announce that when he said 70 to the other team, that the Lions should have been aware of this and corrected him, except the play clock wasn't running, but you had the time to get the play off was running. You know damn well the guy would have given him a penalty if they'd done that. Of course, the other thing that could have been done is kick the point.
After your second attempt,
After your second attempt, kick the point. Don't go for it for two from the. But anyway, they screwed it up, and they won't admit it, and they won't. This guy's a clown. This guy's crew's been horrible all year.
Grant did this. He was ahead of the curve.
Yes.
But this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Here you got some dentist or insurance agent who screwed the whole thing up.
Yes. And
what are we supposed to think?
And he can release a statement like he did after the game when the official, when you come in and ask him, but they don't really answer your question. It's, wait a minute now. There's a video out there, pal, that shows you looking right at the guy and he's looking at you. So, so admit it, you screwed up, right?
They can't.
You can't like grill them like that. It's not like a real
but again,
interview.
it just, what are we supposed to do here?
know.
I mean, this is ridiculous.
I decided about 3 months ago that the officiating and I've been talking about it all the time, the officiating in the NFL has more to do with the outcome of games than any other sport. They have more influence. One reason being most of the games are so close,
I talked to a guy over the weekend who contends that of the four major sports, football has putting the worst product on display of the four major sports.
In the NFL, yes.
The worst product available is the NFL.
But we still don't care because they're all close. And bad football.
And Taylor Swift, just to get this out of the way, has ruined the Chiefs. Okay. Just ruined the Chiefs.
Well, they won this week, didn't they? They pulled their
barely, but Brittany and Taylor.
All I care about, what's the CP's breakdown of the Chiefs game?
Well, there will be one.
Yeah.
But that's the worst product of the four major sports.
As far as the quality of the competition, yes. But then again, bad football is just about as appealing as good football. When you're fumbling and throwing interceptions. But the penalties
are an intrusion that is ruining the game.
Yeah. Well, and if you want to see another intrusion ruining the game, did you watch any of the college football playoffs?
Just the two final games.
That's what I mean.
Oh, I thought they were wonderful.
Yes, but how long do they last?
Oh, yeah.
They are lengthy.
I gave up on the Washington and Texas.
It was 11:55, I think, when it ended. But here's the deal. In the NFL, once in a while, if you get a 3 and out, they'll actually come back and start the other series. They won't have to take the TV break. These guys, every opportunity, and then the breaks are 4 and 5 minutes. Honest to God, I went upstairs, messed around, doing something. It had to be 5 minutes. I came back. They hadn't restarted yet.
They were still on the air.
They hadn't restarted yet.
What's the title game? It'll be just like that.
Oh, God, yes. It'll be.
Well, this is what you get, though, when you're paying $20 billion for games, like ESPN is.
And during the season with college football, like the Big Ten Network, if you got a clunker of a game, Indiana and the Gophers or something, the halftime will be 35 minutes because they have a better chance to have people watch at halftime to see what's happening elsewhere than actually watch the game. So the halftimes are ungodly long, too. It takes forever. But, yes, the NFL product is terrible.
Sorry.
When the NFL product is really terrible? When Jaron Hall is playing quarterback.
Dear God, he's bad.
That was awful. That was awful.
I thought we'd see Dobbsy in that one.
Oh, the second half.
I thought they might. Well, they had him as the third quarterback going into the game, so they couldn't have. Both of them got to get hurt before you can go to that guy. So anyway, I'd give Dobbsy a shot at Packers at Detroit.
Me too.
But did you see the?
You're not going to get in the playoffs. Too much has to happen.
Well, plus, first of all, you get your ass kicked by Detroit. Did you see that coach after the next on Tuesday? Let's go. He wants to kill them.
Yeah.
He looks at that. He's going to have his team looking at the Vikings like they're 22 officials.
Right.
They're going to have foam coming out of their mouths. He's crazy. God, he's crazy. But
I find him likable.
But he's a hell of a coach, though.
I do. Well, I am amazed he didn't put the referee, when the referee's over there trying to explain how he screwed up, that he didn't put him in a headlock. Or something.
I know. I was waiting for him to swing at him or something.
Yeah. Apparently, he said before the game,
he told them, he warned them.
Number 68 is going to be eligible.
Yeah.
But, I do think that they had all those guys wandering over there to try to confuse. But you can't really confuse because the referee then comes over and tells the other team who's eligible. So... it was awful.
I know you guys love Jim Harbaugh. He's the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines.
He does not bother me.
Did you see the pregame to the pregame interview he was doing with an ESPN reporter?
No.
He was asked about, they got to kind of dance around the whole suspension thing and whatever.
2 suspensions.
So I don't remember the female's name, but she had said, what was it like being away from your team for 3 weeks? And his quote, because I wanted to make sure I got it right, quote, like Moses, I'm going to die leaning on my staff, and I couldn't have a better staff to lean on.
Okay.
Jim Harbaugh. I love it because he's nuts.
Well, plus he coached them all week.
Right.
He just couldn't be at the game.
Right.
But that thing, now there's, some people are still trying to get at him here, but the Big Ten basically gave it up. If you agree to not coach these last 3 games of the regular season, then we'll drop the investigation. So
I thought it was charming. It's like Necro having a nail file.
yeah,
It's
right. Yeah,
it's
right.
nothing.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Really is. I do like the guy being on the other sideline, dressed up in their he's like dressed up like their mascot or something. And he's a geek of all time.
Right.
He's just a dork.
He's got the opposing team shirt on that's got the tag still on it, because he just bought it in the gift shop.
Yeah, I've always liked him because he's nuts.
Oh.
I mean, we go back here with him. I mean, he played for Michigan against the Gophers too, but to him
With the Bears.
to Ditka grabbing
Yep.
his face mask when they were kicking the Vikings' ass in here one day and. At 20-0 at halftime, and he audibled and threw an interception. Remember that? Ditka, you were covered.
It was a Monday night game, wasn't it?
It was a game with a lot of focus. Ditka went nuts, and the Vikings came back and beat him in overtime or something.
Somebody said he's got a 10-year, $150 million contract from Michigan that he has not agreed to. I read
they
that
put it
somewhere.
on the-
They've got it on the table. He's waiting
I
to
think
see.
he wants to go to the NFL. They think
That's
maybe
a lot of money.
He's been in the NFL.
Oh God, he
Yeah, he
went to
damn near won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And he's people were thinking the Bears, but the guy with the Bears is going to save his
Eberflus.
He's going to save his job, isn't it?
It
I mean,
might be.
they played pretty well.
What if the
Second half.
Vikes had hired him whatever it was, 2 years ago? Remember when Harbaugh came to town, and what if they would have hired him?
Yeah, but he didn't treat that interview seriously.
No, he did. The Vikings just said,
Somebody
this guy's
didn't treat
crazy.
it seriously.
No, Harbaugh was the whole pretense supposedly was Harbaugh wanted to put pressure because Michigan, remember, made him. They'd never beaten Ohio State, and they had like 2 or 3 mediocre years for theirs, meaning they lost twice or something. And they took money away from him. And so then he came here, he was trying to put pressure on him. Because then he bounced up and beat Ohio State and won the Big Ten. And then he came here to interview with the Vikings to put pressure on Michigan to come out with the big contract offer. So,
Okay, what are the Vikings going to do about a quarterback? Go back to Kirk and be grateful that Kirk's the guy?
No, I don't think so. Do they really want to?
Can you get this guy from Washington?
Penix? Yeah, you can probably get him.
You have to trade up.
If they lose Sunday, they're going to be. He's supposed to go like 11 or 12. He's supposed to be like the 4th or 5th quarterback. Gone. He's 23 and he's got bad knees. He'll be 24. But God, I like the way he throws the ball.
He throws it nifty.
Jefferson would love having him throwing that deep ball that comes down like a butterfly right in your hands.
Lands like it has sore feet.
Yes, right. It does. It was
A butterfly with sore feet.
4 feet. Yeah,
That's well, whose line was that? Sam Snead.
would have. Now you didn't make it to the end of Washington.
Not the Washington, Michigan, or Washington, Texas.
You had a
game.
chance to miss the worst loss in
That would
sports
have been bad.
history.
Yeah.
They, all of a sudden they can kneel 3 times and have 10 seconds left and punt, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they kneel 3 times. Instead, he gives it to his ace running back who probably is out for life. He got hurt, and then they have to stop the clock with 47 seconds because your man has been hurt. So then you have to run one more play. They call timeout. You give it back to them, and you're pretty soon. Then your dumbass center runs down and runs into the guy trying to make the fair catch, and they get a penalty on that. Then they complete another one. They get another penalty. Pretty soon, they got 20 seconds left, and they're on your 12-yard line or something like that. They ran 4 plays from the 12-yard line. If they score, they win the game.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
And that's
Would
what
have been
gets
the worst loss ever.
That's what gets lost in the Dallas game is how badly McCarthy bummed up the end of that game.
Yes.
Why are you throwing the pass?
I don't know.
They could have ran the clock out by just running the ball.
Yes, sometimes.
These coaches get too cute.
Yes.
And you know what? There's not enough coaches on the sidelines,
No,
Joe.
that's true. We need more coaches. We need more. But Viking-wise, Joe, you're a Viking fan. You're
Okay.
taking your New Year's Eve
Yeah.
to go to the game.
Yep. New Year's
You're
Eve
spending
day.
hundreds of dollars to get there.
Yep.
You've been drinking most of the afternoon. You go in there. You make a complete jackass out of yourself going, Skull.
Kurt comes out with his shirt off.
Skull. Kurt comes out. Oh, isn't Kurt cute with his shirt off? And his little boy's got his shirt off, too. Look at their nipples. It's great. And then...
And they got jewelry on.
They got jewelry on. Yeah, oh, Kirk, did you ever see a better Gallarhorn ceremony?
Hard to
and
argue.
You're doing it, and Skull.
The defense gets him 3 and out.
The guy next to you's got a big Viking head on him and stuff, and he's drunk and puking on people in front of him. And then your team goes out there and plays like a bunch of buttholes. Don't you feel like a complete jackass?
Yeah, you do.
Aren't you happy you don't have your Viking tickets anymore?
Oh,
Remus?
my God, yes. But you know what? It sounded like right there? It sounded like you had spunk.
Yeah, right. I get my spunk back talking about what a pathetic performance it was. God, they were terrible. Joe, they put on one relentless 7-yard drive for a touchdown. That was it.
I know. I saw that
And
game.
a field goal.
Yeah.
One 7-yard drive for a touchdown.
We gave up on it and put on she wanted to watch the Ryan Seacrest Rockin' Eve or
God
whatever. And I said,
almighty.
well, we really got to subject ourselves to that right now? Anyway, yeah, I agree with you. I felt bad for the people that they made that an all-day event going to that game on Sunday night.
I think Ryan Seacrest is bisexual because neither side wants him. They both say no. Whatever you want to be. God, how did he become a celebrity? He's unbelievable.
Because of the Kardashians, I believe that's how.
Is he a friend?
What show is he the head of?
Well, he does his famous thing is the New Year's Eve.
Well, he's got his hands in all sorts of different stuff. But he did the show with Kelly, but now I can't remember exactly. This is when we need Rookie. Rookie would be able to tell us.
he would know this.
He's lost the gay New Year's Eve audience though to Andy Cohen and Cooper because
Yep.
they're doing a show.
And they get bleeped on air.
They
Drinking on air.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a festive show.
I thought the FCC did not allow that.
Maybe because it's cable. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's
I have no
true.
idea.
Maybe it's cable. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but we did not. We were watching. We watched. Katie had never seen the French Connection.
The original.
The original. So then the next, it was it's great. So she was interested. So did you ever watch French Connection 2?
No.
It rates right up there with Caddyshack 2.
Oh, that's-
and other. As a sequel,
That's
it
terrible.
is horrible.
Yeah.
It is horrible. So, I've always thought the worst sequel ever was The Two Jakes, which came like 20 years after Chinatown. It was awful.
Yeah.
But that French Connection 2 is close.
I got a hockey question for you.
Okay.
Who's supposed to be the enforcer for the Wild? Maroon?
I believe
to some
so.
degree, yeah. But
Well, then
also Foligno.
why is there a Winnipeg player not crippled today?
Yes,
They
right.
killed our commie with kidney shots.
Yes, right.
I agree with you.
Where was the help?
Yeah. Well, we don't. I don't think Maroon.
What did I say? Winnipeg. It should be a Winnipeg player. Should be on injured reserve along with the commie.
Yes, Maroon is a tough guy, but I don't think he's the real.
Well, we need a guy.
Yeah, we lost Ryan Reeves.
Yeah.
He was our goon. And
You see the commie take one in the kidneys twice.
Yeah.
You got to go do something.
You know what? You know who we needed? Mids.
they did
Yeah,
fight.
Mids were-
They did. No, I think we did fight with the guy, but then I saw a quote from Heinze that
Heinze.
that we that's how we retaliate. We fought with the guy, but we're not going to let it carry over to the next game. You got to carry it. When you find out he's going to miss 2 weeks, you got to have it carry over.
Then you get Fair to Midland, Calgary come in here and beat them. It's unbelievable.
Well, they're playing with.
They don't have anybody.
Even Louis' grandson is injured. Vinny.
Right.
Something happened to Vinny.
They had half the Iowa team up here.
They did.
And, what are you going to do? They're not headed for the playoffs.
Well, it's the 3-game losing
You're running
streak.
out of time.
The 3-game losing way is not even a half.
No, you're running out of time.
It's not halfway.
If you don't know by Thanksgiving, you're done.
Well, the trouble could be, you got the push when the new coach came in.
Yeah, that's wearing off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It might have worn off a little too early here, the push. But I don't know. They always beat Calgary, but this time they didn't.
Okay, now I got a Timberwolves question for you. All right. Jaden who? Jaden, what's his last name?
McDaniels.
Well, you got to get rid of him. He can't be on the team.
Either that, they're paying him a lot of money.
Well,
he's technical. They should have fined him $1 million. One is not enough.
What an idiot! He damn near gave the game away.
Yes, he did.
And they got a gift because LeBron was not over the line.
I didn't think he was over the line.
He's not over the line.
He wasn't over the line.
I know my basketball.
Yes,
all right?
you do. I love that you've become a
wasn't
super
over
fan.
the line.
No, he was not over the line.
Did they play by the rules? Over the line, Donnie.
No, but
this isn't Nam. There are rules.
But you're right. McDaniels is like,
go away.
Yeah, and the referee Tony Brothers.
Yeah.
The lead black guy in that crew, Tony, been around doing it, and he's just a hard ass. He starts every game. His goal is to give 5 technical fouls.
What do you have to say to an NBA guy to get a technical? You have to use the F word?
I think he let him say a couple of things, and then he kept talking,
You mean a ref?
McDaniels.
What did I say?
The ref,
player.
Yeah.
I mean, what does a player have to say to a ref?
I think if it gets
technical?
personal, I think that's...
Yeah, I know, but also if the guy says that's enough and you keep talking, then it gets you too.
True.
And they're calling them a lot more than they used to. They're calling a lot more. But yeah, this was idiotic. I mean, the games you could. Who's Finchie ripped them after that Laker game. Mm-hmm. They played sloppy.
And they won that one.
Yeah, they sloppy. And I think Finchie's he's got issues here. Mm-hmm. Because the Ant-Man ain't the easiest guy to coach either, because after that Laker game, the Ant-Man says, my idea today, I was just going to shoot every time I had the ball.
Yeah.
And Cat gets about 6 shots and 8 points. And, the Cat's tried to be less of a whiner this year. He hasn't been too successful lately. But that's going to piss him off because he wants to get his shots, too. Mm-hmm. So the Ant-Man is...
I would say of all the sports, the NBA would be the hardest to coach because those guys don't listen to you.
Well, they're making such ungodly amounts of money. And the other thing about the NBA is one guy is so important in a 5-man game compared to every other game. A star like the Ant. Will play 38 out of 48 minutes. So that's almost 80%, right? Mm-hmm. And the NFL, we're shocked that Faber is playing 50% now, right?
In the NHL.
Yeah, in the NHL. So, they're on the court all the time, and they're very important to you. And when they act like idiots, I don't know. McDaniels got what, like $130 million or something?
Something like that, yeah. Because he didn't sign the max, but he signed a pretty...
I don't know about him. I don't know.
Now you got Tampa Bay coming in here Thursday. Yeah. I don't like their chances.
You know who I'm sick of? Slow-mo. First of all, I'm sick of him being called Slow-mo instead of Kyle Anderson.
Oh,
all they call him is Slow-mo. They think it's slow motion because he does everything in slow motion, apparently. But I don't know. He gets away with the biggest travel in the history of the NBA. Yes. It's not the Euro step; it's the Euro-Asia step, and he's not making any shots at all. And I liked him last year, but I'm kind of down on him this year. But they gotta beat the feisty Pelicans tonight, who to keep the never losing 2 in a row streak intact.
Mm-hmm. So. They almost pulled it out at the Knicks.
Yeah, they came back within 4. They got within 4 after playing the worst second quarter in the history of mankind.
Did we have the outdoor NHL game?
Yep.
I missed that.
The Crackheads.
Oh, that's right. It was in Seattle.
It was in Seattle, and the ice looked pretty good. And the Crackheads beat the Vegas boys.
I don't think any singular event could have been bungled more than that one.
No.
That was a great standalone day that everybody actually paid attention to hockey, and they completely screwed
and they're
it
now
up.
trying, and now they're trying to get back to it being the only one, but it's
too late.
I think hey, this really works. Let's have 5 of them.
Yeah.
Did you see where the Kraken, or not the Kraken, the Vegas team arrived all dressed like Elvis Presley?
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
You know what? It wasn't funny.
Oh, come on.
That's not funny.
Pretty funny.
That's not funny.
And you know funny.
I do, and that's not funny.
Katie was watching the new Elvis movie last night, but I couldn't make
What's the
myself
new
do it.
one?
Not the one with Hanks.
No.
There's a new one besides that?
There's a new one, yeah. It's just on.
You mean
maybe
within the
it's-
last year or so?
No, it's on Netflix or one of them. I'm not sure. She was watching it upstairs.
Really?
She was watching it upstairs. I was otherwise occupied last night.
I'm giving your slow horses quite a long leash. I'm giving it more
man.
episodes.
And just hang in there. You
Well,
don't
it's
like
all
it yet?
good.
Yeah. It's
Gary Oldman is wonderful.
yes.
Just the most
He's
despicable human being in the history
He's not
of the
a
world.
supportive boss.
Not a really. You know what? If he worked for the Wild, he would be in trouble.
He would. Yeah, he would. Billy would have never had to go to human resources because Gary would have been in there full time.
Yep.
It was unbelievable. But and they can solve the world's crimes, and he still tells them what a bunch of idiots they are. It's
Well, he's got a lot of ghosts in his past.
Did you see the one with the Russian?
No.
When he's in the office of the Russian.
No,
that's
not yet.
year 2, I believe.
Yeah.
Year 2. Oh, it's.
I think I have one more to go on season 1.
The dialogue is fantastic.
Yeah.
He's apparently a well-known character in English literature.
Mick Herron.
Yeah.
You know, I was told that Mick Jagger, that's his favorite author, Mick Herron, and favorite series.
Okay.
He did that song for free. He said, let me
really?
do the song for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, they... Jackson, what? Jackson,
Lamb.
Jackson Lamb. Jackson Lamb. Each year he gets more slovenly, too. He's eating ice cream.
Eating in that Chinese restaurant, crap's falling all over his shirt.
Yeah, there's a couple he's eating ice cream cones later that it's awfully good.
He's the great anti-hero.
Oh, he is, but he can do anything. I mean, I saw an interview with him and Kristen Scott Thomas or whatever her name is, and he looking like Gary, dignified and has a haircut and stuff. But then you see him doing this character, and you got to think he's adding some touches that weren't even in the book.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, it's
The
great.
book, I recommend the book, by the way.
I might
the
have to
first
go.
one's called Slow Horses.
And then it's a series
and
that-
the series was so faithful to the book.
Really?
Yeah.
No, good. Great. Yeah. I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to read a couple of those. So, yeah, it's great. I love it. I just finished year 3, though. Now I got to wait another year. There's going to be a 4, though. I saw there's going to be a 4.
Huh. Well, I'm going to 2.
Okay. All right. Good enough. What else we got?
I need to hear from you from
we have
Jim
it?
Paul's Valley Automotive Group of GM dealers.
But we don't have to make the pause today.
No pause today.
No
we just
pause
need to hear
today.
about the Valley Group.
Well, the holidays are over. We still have a few vehicles left out there in all forms, right? SUVs, the trucks, the whole deal. You can get the sedans, I'm sure. God, come on. Somebody go out there and get a sedan. When I go to a hockey game for the kids, I want to see another sedan in the parking lot outside of mine.
We've had a bit of a mixed up schedule, but my favorite part of Monday Night Sports Talk on Thursday last week was Joe saying, "Yes, Pat, GMC makes trucks."
Yes. Well, I know, Sierra. The Sierra. I knew the Sierra was not a Buick Sierra. I just
right.
knew
It's a
it was
GMC.
Sierra. And I went to my stepson, who's an expert on trucks, and said, "How about the Sierra?" And he says, "They're pretty damn good. Everybody, they're selling a lot. Everybody likes them. Good low interest rates. They got Sierras at Jim Paul and Brett Paul's Valley Group of GM dealers. Apple Valley, Hastings, my guys. I bought my last 5-6 cars. Two very close relatives now buying used vehicles from Jim Paul's Valley Group, Brett Paul's Valley Group of GM dealers. Hastings and Apple Valley, my guys in Apple Valley. And the holiday crush is over. You go out there now, you walk in, and they'll take good care of you. And once you buy a car, they really take good care of you. Jim Paul's Valley Group of GM dealers. Check them out.